Hey guys, it's Jude. Welcome back to another video. Welcome to chapter 2 of When I Awake. I hope you like chapter 1. These videos will be a little bit longer. Hopefully you guys will be binging them. They're pretty good, and I like writing them. So, let's get to it. When I Awake, chapter 2. I just about dodged a man whose face looks like molded cheese while I was putting the water bottle in my jacket. I find myself backing away from their growling and chopping teeth. I hit something and I realize I hit the detached cockpit. I run to the door in the back of the wreckage. I begin banging on the door ferociously, begging anyone on the other side to let me in. I see the girl with the blonde hair getting closer and closer. I close my eyes as I feel her hands grapple for me. Just as I'm about to be taken down, my body is pushed backwards into the open cockpit door. A man shouts at the things as he slams the door shut. For the past 10 minutes, the only sounds of the cockpit are those of the dead banging on the door attempting to get in. Thank you, I managed to say. I can't believe I was about to die. I felt nothing but fear and sadness. It's like I just gave up in that moment. The pilot interrupts my thoughts with a response. I didn't think anyone but us survived, he says. I look around in the somewhat crowded room. There's a tall man with a long beard, 2 women dressed in what must be flight attendant clothes, and a young boy who looks to be about 12. Plus the pilot. One of the flight attendants speaks up. Who are you? She asks in a somewhat scared tone. I shift my eyes down a bit confused. What should I say? I don't want them to be freaked out, so I just make something up on the spot. I'm George Cook. I didn't mean to scare anybody, I say. The pilot puts his hand on my shoulder and I smile. The young boy walks up to me. Excuse me, sir. Do you have any water? He asks in a polite, desperate tone. He sounds as if he'd been crying recently. After he said, this entire group looks at me. Sure. I have a bottle here, I say. I take out the bottle of water from my jacket and hand it to the boy. He takes a sip and shares it with the others. I'm sorry, George. We haven't had water in a couple hours and the fire from the crash has gotten everyone a bit dehydrated, the pilot says. I almost forgot about the flames. Everyone inside here has scorched clothing and the flight attendant even has a bad burn on her hand. Anyway, guys, it's getting dark. We're not going to get any help without any sleep and stumbling around in the dark. Let's try to get some rest, the tall man says. Marcus is right, everybody. Try to get some sleep, the pilot says. I open my eyes with a moan. Suddenly, Marcus puts his finger on my mouth and shushes me. Everyone's sitting up. Hey, let's stay quiet. The dead have moved away from the door. Let's not draw their attention, Marcus says in a hushed tone. My eyes flutter and I do a quiet yawn. The night was terrible. It was full of tossing and turning, and the quieted sniffles and cries from the young boy wanting his mom. Well, before we start any plans, we should get to know each other, I whisper. The crowd gives me a what look. At least we should introduce ourselves. The first to start is the pilot. Hey, I'm Leo. I was the pilot, he says. He looks at the little boy and nods. Hey, he says in the most quietest tones possible. I'm Caleb, he says. The flight attendant with green hair and burn steps forward. I'm Claire. I helped save Marcus and Caleb, she says proudly. Cocky, huh? At least she helped save their lives, which is kind of impressive considering she only looks to be about 20. The other flight attendant seems a bit more quiet and distant. She says. Marcus gives us a little laugh as she says this. I look at him and give him a smile. I'm Marcus, and I just want to get home to my family, he says. My cheerful attitude suddenly goes blank. Family. Did I have a family? Were they on the plane? Are they one of the brainless monsters out there trying to eat me? It doesn't matter, I guess. Can't remember them anyway. Marcus silently claps his hands together. So what's the plan? The end of chapter 1. I hope everybody enjoyed it. It was really fun writing, and I hope chapter 2 will be just as fun.